We got to talk about this new Kenobi trailer that just dropped. This is for the Obi Wan Kenobi Disney Plus series coming out at the end of the month. And we saw a lot more footage this time around. And first of all, I want to say that the special effects in the Obi Wan Kenobi trailer look really good. And that's not any surprise, but it just goes to show how much we've advanced as far as making movies and TV shows, because this show, the effects look like a movie. It looks like something that would have been made theatrically, and that's a great compliment to it. The Mandalorian and the Book of Boba Fett also had a very similar cinematic look, which is appreciated very much, but this looked even more cinematic, I would say. So as technology advances, I think we're going to get better looking TV shows. Really, it's been that way since Game of Thrones, which also was very cinematic. So that to me is a good sort of evolution of the process. So we see the Inquisitors in the trailer. We see the Stormtroopers. The story, based on what we've seen, is that they're trying to hunt Obi Wan Kenobi. They're trying to find this guy. Vader is almost obsessed with finding Kenobi based on the way it's kind of built up, to where he hires Inquisitors to go find him, and Obi-Wan's on the run, but at the same time, he has promised to train Luke. There's even a scene where he's talking to Owen, Uncle Owen that is, about training Luke, and Uncle Owen pretty much was like, you're going to train him like you train his father? So, the whole story here is that, he's concerned about Obi-Wan's training, because Obi-Wan, according to what Uncle Owen says, may have actually messed up, and he might be partially responsible for Anakin Skywalker being Vader. Now, what I think is interesting about that is only a small number of people actually know that Anakin Skywalker is Vader. At least that's the way it's always been implied to me. The general galaxy does not know this. Only a few people know it. So either Obi-Wan told them that Anakin Skywalker was Vader, or news spread out, because they're supposed to be two different people. That's the way it was implied for a long time, that Obi-Wan was not. I'm sorry, that Vader and Anakin were not the same person. The shots of the sand from big distances looks great. It's got a very Lawrence of Arabia look to it, and he's a wanted man. I mean, the Empire wants Obi-Wan, and he's obviously going to be leaving the planet, going elsewhere. But the question is why. We see a little bit of red lightsabers here. We see Vader kind of being constructed at the end. Anakin probably coming out of the bacta tank to face off against Obi-Wan. I am concerned, and I've said this before. One of the things that I'm not looking forward to is the idea that Obi-Wan and Darth Vader are going to have a fight in this. Granted, I do want to see a cool lightsaber duel. I do want to see, the Force being used and these guys using their Force powers. And that's fine. As a fan, that's cool. But what I'm concerned about is it's a somewhat of a retcon. It is retroactive continuity to the original Star Wars movie, A New Hope. Because in that movie, Obi-Wan and Vader talk about the fight on, which is implied to be the fight on Mustafar. Obviously Lucas didn't actually write episode 3 before doing episode 4. It was many years later, but it still connects. And Obi-Wan is, fighting him, dueling with him, and Vader says, the last time we met, I was but the learner, now I am the master. That, to me, screams Mustafar. I mean, and it all made sense that when George Lucas finished the 6 movies, that's the way it's supposed to connect. Now they're coming in, they're making changes. Now, again, I'm not shitting on it, but to me, it takes away from the importance of the Mustafar fight, because I always thought, and so did many Star Wars fans, that Vader and Obi-Wan's only duel was on Mustafar and then the one in A New Hope. There's no other duels in between, that Obi-Wan was successfully hiding from Vader throughout the entire time space between episode 3 and episode 4. But now they're going to have a duel in this show, and from a story perspective, I don't like that. I might enjoy the episode. I will review that show when it comes out. I still have to go watch Moon Knight, but from a story perspective, I'm not really into it. From a fight scene, fanboy wanting to see duels, I'll probably like it because it's probably going to look good, but I think it does take away from the story, honestly. I genuinely think it takes away from the other 6 movies. It makes that duel on Mustafar less special. And you may not agree with me on that, but the idea of Obi-Wan and Vader only fighting each other twice, to me, it makes a lot of sense. And then, of course, Obi-Wan's sacrifice in A New Hope, becoming one with the Force. I do wonder if that's going to be discussed here, because we know that Obi-Wan is training with Qui-Gon Jinn's ghost. One thing I am looking forward to, though, is Obi-Wan chopping up these damn Inquisitors like, a hot knife through butter. I can't wait for that. Not to mention that Ewan McGregor is a tremendous actor, and I'm so happy that he's back to play this character one more time. That does make me happy. I was kind of hoping that someday they would give us like a young Obi-Wan Anakin story that takes place in between episodes 1 and 2, discussing like Obi-Wan and showing him training Anakin. I think that would be cool, but maybe they're too old for that now. So the best we can hope for is either de-aging tech or an animated series. I know there's a comic book, but I would like it to be like an actual series, Anyways, I am looking forward to this on Disney Plus. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. I'll talk to y'all real soon.